You made it. You made it to the video. As you know, I played Tiandi quite a bit, and he's one of my favorite heroes to play. He's also one of the most complained about heroes when it comes to For Honor simply due to his repetitive Wudai Tiandi screams. The infinite iframe tiger dodges also come second to mind. But today, I'm going to show you how to properly fight a Tiandi. I'll be showing you how to counter him. I'll be showcasing his strengths, weaknesses, and most importantly, the right mindset when facing a Tiandi. The first thing I'm going to say, and I cannot stress this enough, is to play every single hero. Of course, if you're new, this is going to be pretty expensive as the heroes do cost a lot of steel, but I urge you to play them in training grounds where you can test their moveset and know what they are capable of. I don't care if you hate them simply because of their voice lines or whatever reason you came up with. I believe there's a different experience when you're playing as the hero and against the hero. Once you understand the ins and outs, what you can and what you cannot do with that specific hero, you will have a better chance of winning that fight. And so in this video, what you will take from it is that I will show you the ins and outs of Tiandi when and when you can't punish him. And I want to stress that Tiandi is a strong A+ tier hero right now. He has unreactable chain lights, undodgeable dodge lights, 600 MS bash, and tiger dodges. He will be a tough hero to beat if you're using a trash tier hero. These tricks I will show you will give you an edge against Tiandi and make his life a little bit harder. And for you old gen console players that are stuck with pairing before a red indicator shows up, yeah, I can't really help you. All I can do is give you a few tricks and hopefully you can make the right reads. And how to mute your game when you're fighting against Tiandi. So, if you're ready to fight some smelly Woolen, let's get started. And before the video gets started, I want to give a huge shout out to Dragon, my boy. Thank you so much for helping me, buddy. Really do appreciate that, and I thank you for being there. This will be an in-depth guide, so if I missed anything and if you have any new information to share, go ahead and put it down in the comments. Let's get started. First things first, I'm not going to go over every inch of Tiandi's moveset, as he really is a simple hero. He only has 2 chain lights and heavies, and after the first attack, he can cancel his recoveries with a tiger dodge, and those tiger dodges do have some iframes. Now, what if I told you his tiger dodge doesn't have infinite iframes? What would you say to that? What would you say to that? You see, tiger dodge is probably the most complained about move for this hero simply because it seems like you can barely touch him when he's dancing around you. But in reality, tiger dodge has quite a bit of vulnerabilities once you understand how it works. So Timmy, you're asking me, why can't I attack Tiandi when he's ballerina-ing around my face the entire time? Well, let me tell you, Jimmy. Here's the thing. You can. You can. You just need to know the right timings. You see, most people, as soon as they see Tiandi's tiger dodge, what they do is they mindlessly throw out attacks and let their bashes fly and whatnot, but that's the biggest mistake you can make. I'm going to show you when you should be attacking Tiandi so that you can punish him for dodging, and in that return, he will be less inclined to dodge in the future when you enter your mix-ups. The reality of the situation is that during the first few frames of his tiger dodge, he is guard break vulnerable, and towards the end, he is also vulnerable. As you can see, usually when a hero goes for an unblockable heavy or just normal heavy feint, a Tiandi will typically go into his tiger dodge to negate your mix-ups. However, right after you feint your heavy, 100% of the time, the Tiandi will be guard broken since he has guard break vulnerabilities right there. The only time you bounce off of his tiger dodge is because you delayed your guard break input. 9 times out of 10, a heavy feint into GB will catch the Tiandi dodge 100% of the time. So what if the Tiandi goes into his tiger dodge from neutral? What can I do to deal damage to him? Well, first of all, I'd like to say that you don't necessarily have to do anything to the Tiandi because his tiger dodge is not a mix-up. All it does is waste his stamina and make him look pretty cool. The most important thing I can tell you is to use side lights if you want to play aggressive and put some mind games in his head. Using top lights will most likely not land due to the horizontal range of the move. There is none. Most side lights have enough tracking to hit a Tiandi out of his dodge attack once you learn the correct timings as shown here. Now, one important thing I want to mention is that once you start trying to light a Tiandi out of his tiger dodges, this is not necessarily a tool to counteract his tiger dodges. This is simply a tool to keep the Tiandi on his toes so that he is less inclined to spam tiger dodge to avoid mix-ups. Alright, in this clip, I'm going to be slowing down Tiandi's tiger dodge so you know exactly when to hit him. So as you can see, the red indicator shows up that he's preparing to do his tiger dodge. And as soon as he starts to turn his back towards you, that is when you initiate your light attack. Some heroes with really wide ranged zone attacks can also track Tiandi sometimes, like Kensei zone and Nobushi zone, as you can see here. Try practicing with a friend in a custom game. As you get used to his animations and the timings, you can interrupt the Tiandi so much that he will most likely do less tiger dodges and use other moves in his kit. And keep in mind, Tiandi can do a undodgeable soft feint, but when you're using a light attack on the perfect timings, he will not have enough time to crush and counter that, and he will get hit instead. Not only is that good for you, but that forces the Tiandi to make a read and throw an undodgeable light for you to parry or for you to block. So once you understand the weakness of Tiger Dodge, that makes Tiger Dodge a lot less effective when using it as an escape tool or any sort of mix-up. And now I'm going to go over one of the smoothest brain moves you can do against a Tiger Dodging Tiandi. So you know how I told you that Tiandi has guard break vulnerabilities in the beginning of his early dodges? So if you know a Tiandi will do 2 Tiger Dodges or more, you can actually guard break him during his second start of dodge, as you can see here. Now keep in mind, this will be a read, but this will be very rewarding if you manage to get a guard break off the Tiandi. This will also make him less inclined to spam tiger dodges, so you can fight him from neutral a lot more. So let's just take a closer look on how we can capture this smelly Tiandi. As you can see, just like before, it's all about timing and knowing his animations. As soon as the Tiandi turns his back and starts up his dodge again, and that indicator goes away, that's when you guard break him. One important thing to add is that once you actually guard break them from the startup, they have no choice but to let that heavy attack fly for you to parry or throw an undodgeable light on read for you to take the hit once you guard break him. Of course, these are all interrupting tactics, and this is to make the Tiandi feel unsafe, and once he feels unsafe during his tiger dodges, he will start making more mistakes for you to capitalize on. Tiandi spamming tiger dodge is especially prevalent in 4v4 modes, so this is actually a really good tool and a really good read to make, because Tiandis will try to stall on the point for a very long time. It will definitely catch them off guard. Alright, a quick and easy tip against Tiandi's kick mix-up is that if you have a static guard, what you want to do is if you get hit by the zone or a heavy attack and he goes for a kick mix-up, make sure you change your guard to the top and then just back dodge when you see the kick, because his side undodgeable lights will not track you, and his forward undodgeable top light will be blocked by your static guard top. That means it's pretty much useless and he has to let the kick fly. If you are near a wall, however, this is where the kick becomes a little bit scary and the undodgeable lights will track you since the wall is behind you. It is always better to dodge because you will take a heavy attack if you do not dodge out of the way. The distance is pretty forgiving, as if you don't land a heavy attack for Tiandi, you can pretty much get a guaranteed undodgeable light attack, as you guys can see right here. One thing I will add is that Tiandi does have an answer to your back dodging if you have your guard on top. He can soft feint his kick into an empty dodge and go into a bash, and you will take some damage from that, but the important thing is that he uses pretty much his entire stamina pool, and that means you can go on the offensive after. So all in all, if there's no wall behind you, pretty much just back dodge, keep your guard top. If you're an assassin, you're pretty much screwed in that regard because your reflex guard is going to not be able to refresh, and so you'll have to just take the kick. If you're near a wall though, make sure you always dodge though. And in a 1v2 situation, if the Tiandi goes for a zone attack and decides to kick you, make sure you swap targets to the other opponent. Keep your guard on the Tiandi and dodge the other way from the kick, as you will avoid the mix-up with the undodgeable light while your guard is facing the Tiandi. Alright, so one important thing is that if you have an undodgeable, say you're using Tiandi or Warlord, if Tiandi goes right into his tiger dodge, sometimes he'll be expecting you to throw out that undodgeable. So if you throw it out incredibly early, it will be very hard for the Tiandi to react to. So this is more ideal. However, once you delay it and wait for him to be in neutral again, he can crush and counter you and parry it and punish you. So you need to be very quick and need to react quickly to his animations. This crush and counter or parry bait with his dodges is especially prevalent when he's a certain distance away from you and trying to space you out. So be mindful of that and try not to get baited by him. Instead, try to heavy feint and bait out his undodgeable light to parry him. One of Tiandi's greatest strengths is honestly his ability to outspace his opponent. After one light attack, he can dodge backwards and create a bunch of space. So many players try to light attack me or chase me right after, and in doing so gives me the opportunity to punish them with their dodge. Do not chase the Tiandi. It's exactly the same scenario like Shinobi, except just a little bit weaker. Play patiently and bait him on making a mistake. Some heroes with fast enough bashes can punish Tiandi, but they need to be very quick to do so. Here's a look at some. And as you can see, if you have the speed of Warlord's Headbutt with the forward bash, then you should be able to track the Tiandi, and it's a move that Tiandi should not use against you. And the next topic I want to discuss is heroes with 50/50s. Tiandis can do pretty well against them, however, there is a weakness to his Tiger Dodge, and most heroes with the 50/50s, they can cancel right away and go into guard break. That's pretty much how you negate Tiandi's Tiger Dodge, because he has a lot of guard break vulnerabilities in the beginning, and if you start doing that, he'll start doing less Tiger Dodges, but in that form, when you start guard breaking him more, he'll start to use palm strikes to interrupt you and light attacks to interrupt your bashes. So that is a read upon a read with both players, so you have to read your opponent, go for the parry, and dodge the bash preemptively. I see so many Wardens and so many 50/50 characters let their bashes fly against a Tiandi, and the only time that works is when you start scaring them, fanning your bash into GB, making them scared to Tiger Dodge, and also making sure that you can punish their bash by dodging it and parrying their interrupt lights. That is when you can finally let the bash go. And also when you start charging your bash, the Tiandis can waste all their stamina afterwards, and so you can initially get more of an advantage once he has half stamina. That's the best time to attack him. Like I said, it's a mind game between both players. It's a really tough fight. Before the CCU, Warden and any 50/50 hero really had an edge against Tiandi. Tiandi could do well against them. However, the top tiers definitely were still stronger than Tiandi. But now with the CCU, they're a little bit more in line now since everything's a little bit unreactable. And that about sums up the in-depth guide on how to counter Tiandi. I believe I talked about the most important things, and I really do hope it helps your experience in For Honor. As I say from time and time again, don't take this game too seriously. Try to practice with your friends, with what works and with what doesn't. If you found any of these tips helpful, let me know down below. Really appreciate that. And I would also like to know if any Tiandi mains out there have any other inputs, tips, or if they're just upset I leaked important information on how to fight Tiandi. I want this game to be as enjoyable as possible, even though Ubisoft keeps trying to make this game ball sweating. It's the power of the individual, guys. Power of the individual player to make this community better. And I hope you guys are getting less angry when you finish watching my videos. I know I wasn't so calm. I was always pretty upset while playing For Honor as well, but you know how it is. Slap like now if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and be sure to let me know in the comments if you want to see more like this. And let's end the video with some therapy time. Alright, I'm listening. What's going on? How have you been? Tell me all about it. All about it. Okay. Yeah, I suppose it has been a while. Well, don't be scared. Don't be. It all takes a little bit of time. Oh. Wow. That's quite a predicament, I'd say. Wow, I can't believe you've done that. I suppose that's the first time for everything, isn't there? That's honestly the craziest thing I've ever heard. Try not to do that next time, okay? Well, I'm glad you're doing good. This makes me happy. I'm very glad. Thank you for telling me this. I hope this has been helpful. Please let me know down below. Really hope you're feeling better. Oh my, look at this. Looks like you slapped like on the recent video. But looks like we do have more time for therapy time. Go ahead. I'm listening. Tell me your dreams. I'm always curious to know. I see. Heavens! Gracious me. You are a wild one. You're a wild thing, you know that? Don't forget it. That's a good thing, trust me. Okay. You thought about what? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna write that down. Don't worry. I record all our conversations. Don't even worry about it. Seriously. Don't even worry about it. Okay, well, that's all the time we have left. Hopefully it was helpful. Take care. And good night.